Okay, this next video is to go through the range of motion of the wrist primarily, but we'll also talk about the hand as well while we're here in the fingers. And so with our hands, I'm just going to have Kevin go through his finger flexion and curling fingers all the way in. Now he can include the thumb into that as well, and then bringing them back into full extension. And then we can also AD and AB duct the fingers as well. We can isolate those. I can take them through those passively as well, and I can also take them through resisted range of motion at each of the digits also. For the sake of this video, we'll pass on that today and we'll focus on the wrist movement. So from here, I'm just going to get Kevin to sit with his arms at 90, so shoulders and arms at 90. And I'm just going to have him bring his palms. We're going to focus on wrist flexion. Bring his palms towards his elbows, and then opposite to that, palms open up and fully wrist extend towards me. I'm just going to drop that table down a little bit so that doesn't impede his movement. And then back to neutral from here, and then I'm going to have him go into ulnar deviation, so pinky fingers towards the midline, and then radial deviation, thumbs towards the lateral side, and back again. And now I'll take him through those same movements. So focusing on wrist flexion, I'll passively bring him into full wrist flexion, right there. I will also then passively take him into full wrist extension. My stabilizing hand at my forearm as I do this. I will take him into full ulnar deviation, and then full radial deviation. I'll switch my hands for the radial deviation as well, just to assure that I get him to that end point. So typically people have quite a considerable amount of ulnar deviation and typically lacking some radial deviation. For resisted range of motion, so I'm going to have Kevin again at neutral at the shoulder and the elbow, so 90 degrees, shoulder and elbow. I'm going to support under, and now I'm going to try to bring him down into extension. He's going to resist, so resisted flexion is this movement. And relax. And then I could have him go into a pronated position. I could also work that from this position where I'm trying to force Kevin into flexion, and he's going to maintain that neutral wrist position. And this is resisted extension. Again, opposite to that, still stabilizing at the forearm. I'm going to have Kevin in his neutral position again. I'm going to try to push him towards the lateral side. So he's going to resist that movement. This would be resisted ulnar deviation. And relax. Switch my hand placement, so stabilizing hand opposite to the direction of my movement. And then I'm going to try to force his hand and wrist into the midline, and he's going to bring that towards the lateral side. So resisted radial deviation, and relax.